Solak's drops have been adjusted yet again, and we have a new dig site on the horizon. Let's go over the changes, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So in a previous video covering some RuneScape related news, I did mention that if they weren't going to adjust the Solak pages again, they probably weren't going to touch it for another year or two. Little over a month later and we have an update. Solak now has a 100% chance, so every single kill, to drop Torn Grimoire pages, up from the previous 25%. This does however mean that players won't be able to have a 50% chance to get 2 pages in one single drop. To make up for this, they've added the cluster of Torn Grim pages drop, which is a stack of 25 pages with a 1 in 200 drop chance. Now, when I was reading this post, I was wondering if this was Solak specific or Solak only, and after asking Mod Ramen, he did confirm that this is not something you can get during a Slayer task when killing Lost Grove creatures. I think Solak is good now, but I still do believe that the Slayer creatures should have an increased chance of getting Grimoire pages, especially since they're going to be more common now from Solak, which will decrease the price. And I just feel like the common GP per hour at Moss Golems is incredibly bad, and the only reason they're good money is because Cinderbanes are 80 mil or more, and the chances of you getting a Cinderbane glove drop are 1 in 1500 on task, which means it would take you about 15 tasks on average to get a pair of Cinderbane gloves. But what if you don't? What if you go off drop rate? Well, the common drops will make you anywhere from like 2 to 3 mil GP per hour, which might just pay for your supply cost, and then we have a Grimoire page which may drop to like 2 to 3 mil. If you get one of those every 500 kills or 512 kills, which is like 5 tasks, it won't be that much more money per hour. So unless you 100% go on drop rate for Cinderbane gloves specifically, assuming they don't crash or change value over time, Moss Golems won't be very good money compared to some other Slayer creatures like Wyverns, which are way more consistent. I'm speaking about the short term here. Not everyone goes for 200 bill Slayer, and if you are going to kill 10,000 Moss Golems on task, you're probably going to make a very good average GP rate because you'll be seeing a lot more of those Cinderbane gloves, Grimoire pages, and Ancient Elven Ritual Shards. But per task, or people going for 99, or just doing a little bit of Slayer, it won't be very good money unless you're lucky. I've made a video covering consistent versus luck-related money making before, and this is more a form of luck-related money making. In other news, we'll be receiving a new Archaeology microsite on August the 16th. This new Archaeology Digsite will be located in the heart of the former Zariosian capital, aka in the city of Sentistan area. You'll need at least level 60 archaeology to get started, and this dig site will consist of leveling spots from level 60 to 67, meaning one of the most boring and lackluster sections of the archaeology skill, levels 1 to 99, will have more variety to it from levels 60 to 67. A new section to the city will be added, and there'll be 18 new artifacts to restore, and 8 new collections to complete, and even a new collector named Eblis. There will also be 3 new mysteries containing a number of lore books for the lorehounds out there, and some kind of crafting experience training method. There will also be 5 new research tasks, and 1 new relic. That new relic is really interesting because it's basically the mobile perk, except it's permanent and it only costs 50 monolith energy, meaning you could take this relic instead of Font of Life and basically have mobile whenever you need it. This is interesting because they're basically giving you access to a permanent invention perk without having invention unlocked at level 67 archaeology or lower. This is great as it gives players that do not have invention unlocked access to one of the best quality of life perks for all-round gameplay, and it removes the need to have that perk on your gear if you do have invention unlocked, because Font of Life is almost useless. It's a nice relic. It isn't necessarily game-changing, but it is nice to have as an alternative to that Font of Life relic. I believe this dig site is what Mod Osborne meant by saying small scale updates instead of reworking construction, which would take 3 to 4 years. And like I said in that video, I generally do believe that smaller, more frequent updates are good for the game. Now, if you have level 99 archaeology, this dig site might not be of interest to you, but either way, I'm excited to see new content. I don't know what it is, but every time there's a new update, even if it isn't necessarily useful to me and my account, I do enjoy checking out the area, seeing what the XP rates are, and of course, you know, that new relic, I appreciate that relic. I'm going to use that instead of Font of Life myself. I'll end off the video with a clip of Mod Osborne talking about those more frequent skill reworks or updates. Thanks for watching and have a good one. Peace.
What we should be doing as good curators of our world is looking at the old stuff and just juicing it up a bit, like invigorating it. So yeah, obviously things like construction contracts was pasting on the new because we didn't have the time to do a mass overhaul. But when it comes to divination, I think that remastery approach is really good, and we can do that with other things. We were talking about managing miscellanea, doing something similar a little while ago. Fight caves, we had all of these things on the slate. I think this is another little kind of, it really suits our determination to produce updates regularly as well, and of a wide variety.